Good morning, people. Positive Paul. We're here on Friday, August 23rd, 2024. I hope to wrap up my testimony concerning the stalking, harassment that goes on down here where I currently live in Rosarito Beach, Mexico. I'm coming in totality, my 14th year, that these American Nazi, CIA, Satanist, pedophile, sodomite creeps that emanate from Europe, England, with their American Nazi partners that had their hands on me, and these other American children that were murdered, raped, tortured, experimented on, and then some of them that survived, they were driven crazy to get them to commit suicide. And this all has to do with the blood of Jacob. The blood of Jacob is on the hands of the American government. There is no man or woman that's going to fix this. And it's all been laid out for us on what the future holds concerning the fate of America. Now, to make matters worse, that they let me continue to do these videos. These Satanists that control social media continue to allow me to make videos and put them up on YouTube so they can keep a handle on me, see what I'm up to. And it's amazing that, hey, I'm still standing, and I don't know what to say. I don't wish bad on anything. I don't sit here at night cursing these stalkers, these harassers, these useless eaters, these terrors. But there's a limit to it. So again, I'm going to try to wrap this up, and then I'm never going to speak about it again. I will document the flyovers, and if something really outrageous happens, I will document it, I will speak about it. But as far as this stalking, harassment, surveillance operation here in Mexico, Tijuana, Rosarito Beach area, I don't need to keep pointing out the error of these people. Their fate is in their own hands. They chose to get involved with me. And for now, 8 years, I'm in the beginning of my 9th year. I started squawking about this in 2016. And so these people aren't clueless. They're not kept in the dark. They've been bought off. A, keep their mouth shut. B, do the dirty work of these Satanists who are now, they're everywhere around the globe, but specifically in Mexico. The World Economic Forum stepped in along with the WHO, and these countries that have been left behind on purpose by these Satanists to be used at the proper time, because they want to drag everybody to hell with them. They come in, they throw around their money, bring these people out of the Stone Age, and then, God forbid, that a God-fearing Christian, a God-fearing human being, testify about the power of Christ and witness against these Satanists. They will do whatever it takes to shut that person up. Now, why I'm allowed to continue still breathing, it's only got to be one reason. But again, I'm going to wrap this up and be done with it. So people, keep your eyes to the sky, be kind to each other, because he's coming. Now it's 5th hour here Friday, August 23rd,
2024. It's about 2 p.m. Blue underbelly. Atmospheric conditions are perfect. Not a cloud in the sky. And these psychotics are hell-bent. Who would do this? Back and forth, all day long. Look at this guy. These are some of the most disgusting, detestable creatures on planet Earth. Whatever sadistic group would continue to engage in this, now in its 9th year, Paul Wilson Linder Jr. reporting about these American Nazi, Edomite, sodomite, pedophile, CIA creep Satanist. Alright, now this is hour 2 since I made that video. It's Friday, August 23rd, 2024. Coming in hot, blue underbelly, American Nazi, Edomite, Satanist perp plane lighting up. Social distancing don't work. Look at that, see how it circles? Lit up, these freaks. Alrighty people, Positive Paul Wilson Linder Jr. here on Friday, August 23rd, 2024. And I will pick back up where I was cut off concerning my testimony about the stalking and harassment operation that has been going on now for quite some time. I started publicly reporting about it back in 2016, first on Facebook and then YouTube. And unfortunately for me, I didn't know what I was getting myself into concerning social media, how corrupt it is, how the very same Satanists that run these stalking and harassment operations against their victims control social media. And the people that are the faces of these social media platforms do the dirty work of these Satanists. So there's compartmentalization. They're like 2, 3, 4 layers removed, so the victim cannot even come close to bringing to justice the individuals, the groups that deserve to be burning in hell. Now, the problem is that I had a high-ranking Satanist in my family, which nobody will admit, nobody will come clean. And what this did was it found me a front row seat in what was known as MK Ultra and satanic ritual abuse, which both went and go hand in hand. You don't have one without the other. Now, the worst part about this is they couldn't kill me as a kid. Maybe they didn't want to, but they put these implants in me to keep track of me, and there's more to it than that. These satanic shenanigans that these creeps, meaning these American Nazi, Edomite, European, British, CIA, pedophile, sodomite, freakazoid, creep Satanist that do their dirty deeds done dirt cheap with the devil, and then what they'll do is they'll just go shower up, clean up, and then go right back to their corporate boardrooms the next day and act like, hey, everything's okay. Because, see, we are in control of this situation, so they think. So with these implants, around 2010, I got blood pouring out of my mouth, my head pulsating, my teeth vibrating from these implants that were starting to fail. And these creeps, they knew it. They saw me coming. I went to the San Diego VA back at the end of 2012 and got signed up and tried to deal with this. Now, what they do is, and what has been documented, and what is a matter of fact on the record, we know the VA back then, they had these death lists, right? These poor Vietnam veterans that were horribly treated, and any other veteran that whatever the problem was, this institution couldn't do their job. And when they couldn't do their job, they tried to blame it on the patient, that somehow the patient's the problem. So when I went and I initially spoke to the initial doctor, boy, they got rid of her real quick. She just disappeared. And they assigned me a corrupt doctor. This would be back now in 2014. When after I go through the first doctor, then once I spill my guts to her, she disappears. And so what this corrupt doctor does, by the name of Jennifer Javers and the other quacks, they doctored up progress notes. And what they did, their lies and slander were used to get me on the watch list. Because, see, I don't have a criminal record. I can look anybody in the eye. I can go to court and face any lazy lying lizard judge, put my hand on a stack of Bibles, and swear to the God Almighty that what these corrupt doctors said that I said to them, meaning here is the final notes, because see, I reported all this and then they went into their damage control program to cover it up. 48-year-old male, history on April 25th, 14, October 21st, 14, reporting intense anger towards my coworkers and that I was going to cause them physical harm, maybe injure or murder them. And so what they did is they used that. It was all in collusion. And then this guy, all right, as soon as they do the dirty work of these creeps, then he resigns. And then the other doctor disappears. Do you see how this works, people? Now, somebody else went through this. Matter of fact, I don't think they survived it, because the goal is, see, once you report the activities concerning these Satanists and their, well, I don't know what to call them. They present themselves as good people. Don't they know who they're working for, of what they're doing and why they're doing it? Okay? Well, these Satanists, I guess, they run around, they lie, slander. They can, set someone up. And here's the funny part. Back then, they threw everything they had at me. All right? You got to imagine this, people. Overnight in 2014, they threw everything at me. They tried to set me up with a crime. The best they could do was some stolen car entrapment scheme. Then these corrupt quack doctors doctoring up progress notes with their lies and slander. I didn't say any of this. I would never hurt a flea. And see, what it is they're scared to death, because see, there's more to it than just me. This is way beyond and above myself, all right? This is the condition of humanity, and the future's been laid out for us in prophecy. And so what these Satanists do, they're running around having to cover up their tracks, look over their shoulder. Their chickens came home to roost because they can't kill us all off. Now who? Well, in my mind, in my opinion, it's all has to do with the blood of Jacob, the Israelites. And because most people don't get this, they don't understand this, they don't believe this, They all, I guess, live in these vacuums, that these Satanists have nothing to do with us. Well, let me tell you, my fellow Americans, it has everything to do with everything. So this is how this gets initiated, all right? They had to somehow get me on a watch list because, again, I'll repeat ad nauseum. I don't have a criminal record, nothing. I would never do anything. I would never think about doing anything to anybody. So these creeps that had their hands on me as a kid, all right, all due to the fact that I had a high-ranking Satanist in my family who's controlled my family for who knows how long, because this guy lived a very long life. See, these Satanists, once you get involved with them, the one thing they're promised is immortality, right? That's the number one. That they want to be able to have what's been lost due to the fact of the fall of mankind. And so, in order to do this, you get in bed with Lucifer, who is a very real, actually, a very real, not just some spirit in the sky. This, I don't know what to call him, folks. Look, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he is the God of this world. He is the God of this system, this backwards ass Babylonian satanic usury system of servitude. And when you get in bed with him, then you do enough dirty deeds done dirt cheap with the devil, well, you know what? You'll get promoted to the highest ranks of society within this system. And it all revolves around money, folks. Money, 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 right? We all need money because we can't do a darn thing without it. And so these people that get involved with these Satanists I don't think some of them don't understand what they're getting into, and then the next thing you know, they're getting brought to these rituals and they see things that they're not supposed to see. Maybe some of them are just born that way, these sadistic, sociopathic Satanists that rape, torture little children, all right? And then they get involved with all the things that actually make the society run. Meaning human trafficking, meaning the running of hard drugs to destroy the youth, to keep them dumbed down so they don't know what the hell is going on, how they're being lied to. And so when you survive this and you wake up to this nightmare, all right, you're going to do one or two things. It's going to drive you crazy. You might commit suicide, or you will face these monsters and you will not fear death. You will not fear these Satanists because the Holy One of Israel will be right behind you. And furthermore, not only that, his only begotten Son, Yeshua HaMashiach, Christ, and yes, Jesus, our Messiah, my Savior, will ensure your safety. Now, why would this all be necessary, that these people would do this to me, one individual? Am I that dangerous, people? Do you know there's an FBI most wanted list? I know some of you know about this, right? The top 10 FBI's most wanted list. Now, do you think, and I've done videos on this, I'll do it again. Do you think that these FBI creeps can find these people, right? But they can spend millions of dollars to chase me around here in Mexico? The only reason they can keep track of me is because of these implants. Because none of them are smart enough. It would take hundreds of people, and it does take hundreds of people at any given moment on top of these implants to keep track of me now, 10 years later. And what has happened since 2014? Well, nothing. except that I'm walking around broke, my family's destroyed. They are able to somehow, they keep me up on social media so they can keep track of me. But the truth there is, it's an totally controlled platform, all right? If you're witnessing against these Satanists, you can't use social media. And how you know that is because they have social media frauds that pretend to be these victims of these Satanists. And they want to explain this on their terms. They don't want to hear my explanation. But the end result is, see, everybody gets theirs. We know this. So I'm just, hey, all I want to do is try to take care of my son, help his mom out. Can't do that. They're all squawking, oh, they with their lies and slander, oh, I don't want to work, I'm a bum. No, I'm blacklisted. If I go up to San Diego, try to get a job, they follow in right after me. What's this guy doing here? He's under investigation. You don't help him out. We need this guy dead. See, that's what they do. That's what these freaks in the United States government, this is how they spend their time, chasing around their victims that they can't kill off. Now, I addressed this to the VA, and they gave me their little mealy-mouthed response. And then, what does this guy do? Resigns. Okay, so now we're done with this. I'm trying to get this out of my system, so it's the last time I speak about this. So here we go, folks. Let's review. Let's review real quick. Now I'm down here in Mexico. I got ran out of the United States. Same BS, but it's worse. It's more organized. You would be shocked on who's involved. Now I'm in Mexico because this is where my son's mother's from, Rosarito Beach, Mexico. And these poor people, I have nothing against them. I would never, ever do anything to any of these people. I try to explain to them what's going on in their town. But see, there's no frame of reference for any of them because they don't think that these Satanists have anything to do with any of them. And this is not just Mexico, it's all over the world in these poorer countries that have been kept poor, tired, hungry, oppressed. And when you're in that state for a lifetime, it's very hard to stand up against the people that are the perpetrators of this. So what happens is, we know what happens. We're in end times. The tribulation's upon us. What, you're going to keep on collecting these retirement checks? These people are going to keep flooding into the United States, all right, to get their hands on money, to be exploited? No, it's coming to an end. It's called the tribulation. It's called the redemption of Jacob. And so it's all been laid out for us right in front of us in the good book. And if you study it, you know how to read, you learn this, and you have this Holy Spirit inside you, this is like being knocked over the head with a baseball bat. And you'll see the reality that we live in and what it is about. And so these poor people have been roped in to get involved with me, to be stalkers, harassers, all right? Now, what's the explanation that I explain? How do I explain this on who gets involved, the levels, all right? For me, personally, where I'm at, all right, this is all over Tijuana, Rosarito, but I don't know these people, but the people in this neighborhood where I lived at knew me 6 years prior before the slander campaign. And so what they do is they come in with their lies and slander. In this case, they use the stolen car setup to get the Mexicans on board with the surveillance, when really it's just them trying to piece together this bogus community watch snitch network to keep an eye on me because they know I'm going to be going home soon with the others. So they have to move in close to the individual, the victim. And in this case, all right, they set up shop here, the syndicate, right here in this building, My house is right there. And so they work their way out from there. They farm out these farmed out perps while they're training and looking for recruiting potential snitches. Now, the one thing that will disqualify any potential snitch is if they start asking too many questions. And they're profiled for their vulnerability, their ignorance, are they extortable? Are they bribable? Are they going to just do what they're told? Or are they, let's see, do they have a criminal bent? All right. See, it's like when you go in for a job, right? You got to fill out a job application, and there's certain criteria in order for you to be employable in whatever circumstance. It's the same case with being a snitch. All right. Now remember this. I will repeat this ad nauseum. Where I'm at, there's these dangerous groups called the cartel that run around, kill, kidnap, run hard drugs. And these people have been hiding from them. They hide in their houses while these nefarious groups that work for these American Nazi Edomite Satanist creeps do the dirty work for them. All right? They're running amok, but yet they got to keep an eye on me. Right? They'll peek out their window. They've been convinced to peek out their window to look for me, to see if I'm leaving the neighborhood. So the levels, quickly review. The Zombie Squad, Powder Puff Girls, Backpack Boys. These are all part of the Ground Creepers. And then you move up into the informants that move in and around the victim to try to get information. They're nice to you. And they want to try to find out what you're up to so they can relay that information. And then after the informants, in my situation, you've got the vehicular stalkers, the Camaro Clown Club stalkers. These people are given vehicles, all right? They're giving material possessions. They're getting their homes remodeled, all to be a snitch for one person, because you would never dare rat out the cartel. They'll come find you. And you know what? Like I said, you'll go sneak out of your house one night to go get your rice and beans and then never come back. Or worse, maybe they'll do something to one of your family members. All right? Now, how can this be that this goes on, that these people would want to do this? Well, I can't explain that. But what I will explain is what happens the next level above these Camaro Clown Club stalkers. And it's these dirty, filthy operative agents of these Satanists that are camped out down here, and they tell these people what to do, when to do it, where to do it, what to think, because none of them can do anything on their own initiative. And they never would, all right? Because that's just the way it is, folks, all right? See, what they do, the lies and slander, depending on who they talk to, either I'm a criminal or I'm a drug addict, I'm crazy. They use whatever lies and slander to get these people to do the dirty work for these agent operatives of these Satanists that I can't get to because they're little weasels. They won't come face me on the street. And so what happens is the authorities have to be involved. This is the guy that's been in charge of the security for the past 5 years. The other guy, he got shot. All right? Remember, all these snitches have a shelf life. It doesn't matter who you are. So he knows where these Satanists are, and he knows who I am. And guess what? They're calling for his head. This is way beyond me. All right? These people are getting sick and tired of being extorted by these criminals. They're sick and tired of having to bow down to these Well, I guess, some of them will get saved. We know that. I mean, come on. It'd be impossible that either I'm in a modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, or what's going to happen is once everything shuts down, the lights are out, stores are closed, then they're going to get it. But they've been warned by me now for 8 years. I've been in their face. And so these guys are all on their way out. And so what happened is they got involved with me. They invited these Satanists into their town all over Mexico because the World Economic Forum took over. Like they did, it's not just Mexico, it's everywhere. And so what they're doing is they're going to, help these people out. But look, you're going to do things on our terms. And they set them up. So they've got all the technology now that the so-called Americans, the Europeans, the British, all their technology and how they run their organizations, they get them dialed in. But in order to have all this happen, they now are under the thumbs of these global Satanist power structure. They're now within the satanic sphere of influence. So you would think that after 8 years, because 2016 is when they really started to drill down into this area, that this dangerous psychotic criminal gringo that lives in our town that we got to keep an eye on, who's been investigated now for how long they've been doing this investigation. You would think that one of these investigators would come talk to me instead of just sitting on the street, all right, staring off into space. But no, they won't, because some of them are just as corrupt. And it's not me reporting this. It's the very good, God-fearing people of Mexico that want to do the right thing. And so you would think, who does an endless investigation, never to question me or anybody, to only generate false reports? And this is the best they can do? See, folks, I've prayed for death, all right? This is just so sick that this can go on, and these people, they act like it's not. They'll tell you hey, this guy is crazy. We don't, this isn't even happening. Okay. Yeah, targeted individuals. What a farce. Okay, so we know what goes on in these countries, not just Mexico, all right? It all kind of hit home starting around 2020 because the corruption was so bad that, okay, see, look, here they are, people. Here they are. Right there, red underbelly, American Nazi, Edomite Satanist perp plane. So this is going on, right? And they need these perp planes on top of all this, all right? 1,000 standing army of perps that can be called out of their houses because they got nothing to do. You give me a job, I'll shut my mouth and go away. But see, that's not going to happen, folks, all right? So here I am in the most dangerous municipality in Mexico where murders and kidnappings go on a daily basis. And so what happened was, we know about the corruption. Now I want to talk about the police for a minute. I back these guys up. I will do anything for any one of them. I don't care if they're involved with me, how corrupt they are. These people go and risk their life every day. And like I said, these criminals shoot first, ask questions later, and they get paid nothing. And so they complain about why they're corrupt. And you want these people to help out their fellow citizens when they're going out risking their life for virtually nothing? And you expect them not to be corrupt? Well, wake up, people, all right? Now, I know some of these guys. Actually, they sent them out over the past couple months because they're mad at me with these videos. They don't like these videos, folks. But instead of just, I guess they don't want to, look, I'm waiting. So, yeah, and I try to have a good experience in every interaction with these guys. But I do ask them, hey, man, where's the mafia? They sent you out to come check on me in the canyon because, look, the cameras aren't out there. So, and every time I show them respect, but I have to pray for these guys every day because they're good people. They have families and they don't deserve the bullshit that they go through. So what happens is, all right, they have to send in we know how this works, folks. The United Nations comes in. They take over the security of these countries. And, hey, you just, you hope that these guys aren't corrupt, right? But, so what are the chances, right? They say that there is no community watch concerning me. They say, look, this guy is crazy. We don't even know what he's talking about. So, all right, okay, I'm getting this out of my system. So it all culminated, all right, back in July of 2022. The cartel went nuts, right? They started going haywire. And what do you think happened? They did some damage. And then eventually, all right, the Satanists say, hey, look, you guys got to settle down. We can't have this. And so everybody made their little dirty deals, done dirt cheap with the devil, and things have been relatively calm. Other than the ordinary murders and kidnappings. I don't know where these people they're taking these people. I don't know. It's like there are posters everywhere of people missing. What is happening to these people? All right. See, they're spending too much time keeping an eye on me. And so, okay. So they worked something out after these cartel guys went nutso. And, things are kind of been quiet for the most part, just the usual, all right? So remember, all right? The goal of the cartel, they don't want to do this. These guys some of them are good guys. They got families too. But see, every cartel guy, if they can get themselves out of the muck and mire and take the money and have legitimate businesses, that's the goal. All right? But to get to that point, all right, you got to do a lot of evil stuff. And it's a hell of a thing. So you've got the next level, all right, are these corrupt police and investigators, folks. All right? That they know where these contacts are. They know where these Satanists are hiding, not the main ones. See, what these Satanists do, some of them are down here to keep an eye on things, make sure everybody's doing what they're told, but they present themselves as retirees, right? They'll be in these nice fancy restaurants throwing around their money, but the reality is these are low-life scum that are down here trying to keep the lid on me, all right? Because if it was about trying to really get the security straightened out in Mexico, you would see some progress, not lip service. So what happens is this. The way they get themselves out of this mess is everywhere now are cameras in Mexico. All right? I'm telling you that this is a hell of a thing to watch. That overnight, the United Nations, right? They take over the security. They bring in all these cameras, all right? And here's the sad part about it, all right? Have these cameras stopped these crimes, these murders, these kidnappings? Have they been able to recover these missing people with all these cameras now? I don't know. I don't know what the statistics are, but see, everywhere now there's cameras because see, look, there's dangerous criminals running around. Now, in the beginning, what they were doing, they have to pass around my photo because see, if you're going to stalk, harass, surveil somebody, you got to know what the individual looks like. And so they pass my photo. I don't think they do it much anymore because I've complained about it. But what they do is, oh, look, we're getting all these criminals. And then they got to block out their faces and stuff, right? But they can pass around my photo. Do you believe this? Now, what's worse than this, folks? Millions of Benedict Arnolds, a failed country that's about to be destroyed, a failed system that's going bye-bye. And see how you people that say, oh, okay, yeah, I love Jesus. I love God. Come out of the world. You won't. You won't. You know, you're hiding under your beds too, you dopey Americans. Not all of them. At least I know two of them, two good ones, right? Jude and Athena, right? And some other people have helped me out, but Jude has gone way above and beyond what any person would do. I'm amazed and humbled by his generosity. Even though there's some things that I don't get about him, but hey, we're all different people, okay? So yeah, they pass around my photo because they're gonna know who. But see, now I've been here so long. Oh, there's the crazy gringo walking down the sidewalk because I don't drive no more. So, okay, yeah, all these cameras, all right? They got their big security thing after the cartel went nuts. There's the former mayor. They're changing the guard right now as we speak. And this is why this is the last time I speak about this. I'm not here to give these people problems and continue to point out their error. But now she wants private security because she knows what's going on. She knows where these Satanists are hiding out. And so now what happens is one peep out of her and they'll put her out of business. All right? So there they are. They get their big convention telling everybody, don't worry, we got these cartel freaks under control. Or is it the other way around? We've been bought off by these cartel guys and they're going to let us, do our thing. But we got to keep an eye on this Positive Paul guy, right? This very dangerous gringo. We need all of you, the good citizens of Mexico, to make sure that Jacob doesn't witness the power of Christ. That Jacob doesn't tell you the end is near. And you don't need me to tell you. Just open up the good book and start reading. Start learning. If you can't read, listen, because it's all there for you. So this is what they do. And so now, see, they were using their Positive Paul Stalker app. All right? In the beginning, when they farmed out these perps from Tijuana and they bring them in, right? They got these applications. We know, the Americans know all about this. And remember, what's worse? Not billions, but millions of Benedict Arnolds, all right, stalking their fellow citizens, okay? They do what they're told. And if some stupid creep fed came to my house, oh, your neighbor's under investigation. We need you to look out for us. I would say, get the hell out of my face and do your job, you creep. You don't need to buy off people to be a community watch. There was a time in America where the neighbors looked out for each other. They didn't need to be given cars or their houses remodeled or money or gift cards. And so they see what it was, because I've been complaining this whole time about this stalking operation that's going on. All right? What they do is they want the people now to have this stalker app. All right? The Positive Paul stalker app. When you get in trouble, and we're one tap away. But what they make these people do, they got to sign up and they got to turn in all their information. And so it's just crazy to watch this. So there you go. They got their Positive Paul stalker app. Now, what do you think? If a dangerous cartel guy, right? All right, he gets reported on this stalker app, all right, by one of these powder puff girls or a backpack boy or an informant, right? You think these cartel guys are going to let this happen? No, people. Wake up. Okay, so there you go. I'm getting it out of my system. So, these Camaro Clown Club stalkers, all right? These dolts that drive around these Camaros to remind me that they're there, all right? This is the poor lady that got tied up the other month with the teacher that got pistol whipped. But see, it's just amazing on who gets involved, all right? From the neighbors to these businesses. And I haven't seen this girl lately. She took a back seat because, see, what they do, it's crazy with these Camaros, man, of why they think this works. It is just one of the most ignorant things that I've ever seen done. And this is what I'm saying. All these people involved on a daily basis, they're spending God knows how much money this takes, that these Satanists have to keep this vaudeville act going. And you would think by now, what they do is, see, they change the plates too. These dopey stalkers, all right? Here's one way back that I gave them the business, and what they do is they take the plates off. They got rid of the Camaro. Some of them get this, all right? They don't want to be involved, and they drop out, but they change the plates, all right? So they put it on this car, and this guy, he's still involved, but I don't see him. He's actually cool. I've talked to him, and the other guys, the neighbors there. But, and these cars are all gone. But this is what they do, these stalkers. They think they're so smart, all right? So, yeah. And so what they do is they drive them in the neighborhood now. They arrogantly, ignorantly, belligerently drive them in the neighborhood. They get the school kids to do it. Now, look at this. They park it right there, right there's Peanut Head Poncho, and school's right there. So they park it right there, knowing I'm going to walk down this sidewalk to go to the store so I can see it. But look at the license plate there. Now watch this. They change the plates. They think they're so smart. Now, when you look at this, how do I know this is the exact same car? I don't need to be an investigator, folks. I have two eyes that see very well. Look in the back. Look in the back right here. There's a binder, all right? A binder right there, 3-ring binder. And it's right there. It's still sitting there. And then you got the red label there. There it is, the same car, but they changed the plates. Wow, Einsteins, huh? This is what these creeps do. So what else? Yeah, so Brunhilde across the street. They had this Nephilim guy, They see some of these houses sponsor these stalker informants. But I don't know, man. It's just crazy that these people don't even realize who's living in their house, in their neighborhood. But they're keeping an eye on me like I'm going to do something. Now it's 10 years later and not a damn thing has happened. So what they do is they get the neighbors. Wherever I go, the people that there's a lot of cool people around here that I still talk to, and they know what's going on. They're they're friends with me. All right. My son's mom, her friends are some of the most awesome people. Mexican people are awesome people, really, humble people. It just makes me sad that they can buy into this. But see, what they do is when someone that I'm close with, they move in and around them. So these freaks have a camera right here looking down at this guy's house, my son's mom's friend that we go to, so they can keep an eye on him. And then this is the other side of the street. They got a camera right there, and they're in this walled compound where nobody can get in. The camera's pointed down looking at this guy's house. And what they do is the Camaro Clown Club stalker moves into the house next door, or else they give the people, they buy them off, give them money and say, hey, park this Camaro here for us. They might not know all the details, but this is what these Satanist creeps do. And they're aided and abetted by these corrupt authorities. All right? I mean, this is just, it's a vaudeville act. Charlie Chaplin would be proud. Barnum and Bailey. All right? So these corrupt investigators, all right? This guy right here, they changed the truck, they painted it. It might have got into an accident, but he's one of the corrupt investigators right here, all right? I got him with the mark right above him, and we'll get into that in a separate video concerning the mark again. But what they do is they come out. The one, when I complained about these perp planes and I start complaining about these Freemasons because they're involved, all right, they come out and fake investigate. They act, right? Because they know I got these implants. So what they do is they fake investigate. They'll go up to one of the local perps and act like, oh, okay. And this guy with the mark took my picture. And this was like, who knows, 2 years ago or something. But he's still around, but they painted the truck because I've reported on this before. This isn't the first time. So the mark, right here's the border, right there's the mark. I don't get this. I try to tell these people the bad luck will hit. I don't sit here at night and pray for it. I don't even think about it. It just happens because, see, you don't believe that Jacob is real. You don't believe the 144,000 is real. You don't believe these Satanists are real. This is all Hollywood's movie. So what else? What else? What else? Here's one of the ones, the main, these guys, and I got nothing against them. I see these people, they give these people these Camaros, and they only drive them when they're called upon to go try to intersect me, which they can only do because of the implants and upwards to, who knows, 20, 30, 50 ground creepers trying to figure out where I'm going. And just to drive by these Camaros. But I told you, the plates are all numbered. They're coded. And so there's always, look, they travel together too. They always travel in pairs. But this guy, he don't learn. 666. There's the mark. There he is. There's the mark. I don't wish anything bad for these people. Matter of fact, see, the other location I'm at is where I want the stalker money to go. I don't want to hang around the neighborhood now. I want to get away from these people. They've been making money hand over fist off of me, off the blood of Jacob. They laugh at me. They mock me. Some of them are tares. I got pictures of them with the mark above them. They get these demonic smiles. And meanwhile, the killing, the kidnapping, the running of hard drugs is going on right under their noses, and they don't give a rat's ass. They don't give a hoot. But they'll peek out their window to report when the gringo leaves the house. He's leaving the neighborhood now. Can I have my money? Can I put gas in my car? The next door neighbor, the guy had a heart attack, peeking out his window for 8 years. Look at his license plate. These people, the nerve of them. They got involved with me. I would have kept my mouth shut, but I'm done. This is the last time I talk about what's going on down here. They can stalk, they can harass, but hell is coming. I'm going to just leave it at that. But yeah, I'm spending my time somewhere else because I want the other stalkers, these people that have been in abject poverty, they deserve the money more than the people down there in the other neighborhood. And if any one of them wants to repent, they will be saved. If any one of them wants to tell me, hey man, we're sorry. We don't want to do this, but we have to because we don't know better. So there is no Jesus, no Satanist, no nothing. Just this backwards ass Babylonian satanic usury system of servitude. Give me my money, yeah. Well, I need money too. And if it wasn't for Jude, all right, these past year and a half would probably be some of the most miserable times of my life because my kid hates me. His mom is sick of me. And for all I know, hey, they can come kick me out of the country right now. And you know what? I'll go back to the United States, be homeless. I'll camp out right in front of the FBI's door and say, hey, here I am. Investigate, you freaks. Here I am. How's that sound? Well, I'm done. Good night. Good luck. And hey, when Jesus comes, get on your knees.